A nasty debate in the House over roads. Julius Espat tells Lee Mark Chang, stick to the fried chicken. He'll deal with the roads. And is Jose Mai's back really bad, or is it just a story? We asked two of his colleagues today. Also, a landmark judgment in the CCJ rejects the Central American butane cartel. Plus, a Toledo High School principal wanted for sexual assault. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Thursday, November 20th, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
What made me want to start my journey in terms of owning a home was basically me having my own space, my own domain, and having something extremely special for my family. That feeling was indescribable. It was amazing, moving in the first time, seeing all the new furniture, the new paint, the new accessories. I was amazed. Home for the holidays means to me bonding with my family, having an amazing time in the Christmas spirit. I would highly recommend Atlantic Bank's personal loans for home renovations because of what it did for me. I fixed my kitchen, I fixed my storage, I fixed my master bedroom, my showers, you name it, I fixed it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize is unlocking the power of the ocean by balancing conservation and economic growth to build a sustainable future. Through the Belize Sustainable Ocean Plan planning process, we are developing a blueprint for a thriving blue economy. Belize's blue economy is not just about the ocean. Half our GDP relies on our marine resources. From vibrant tourism to sustainable fisheries, our marine industries inject over $1 billion into our economy every year. These industries provide livelihoods for thousands of Belizeans. Fishermen, tour guides, and coastal communities all depend on a thriving ocean. The Belize Sustainable Ocean Plan, Belize's Marine Spatial Plan, is our roadmap to sustainable management of our ocean resources, ensuring the right balance between conservation, local livelihoods, and national economic growth. In addition to the continued growth of Belize's bedrock sectors, emerging sectors such as mariculture are establishing themselves, creating jobs and ensuring long-term prosperity for coastal communities. Our leadership in the blue economy is setting the foundation for healthy oceans and people, an example for the world. Belize's ocean is among its most valuable assets. Let's protect it.
What happens when one person decides to make a change? In communities across Belize, we're seeing the answer.
Hi, I'm I'm Kaylin Norris. I love being outside and surrounded by nature. When I heard about the national cleanup, I signed up right away. I don't litter, and I help clean up Belize, one piece of trash at a time.
It starts with one choice, one moment, one step towards something better. Across our beautiful country, everyday heroes are making a difference. In just one day, nearly 2,000 volunteers collected over 40,000 pounds of garbage. From local groups to national partners, Belizeans are uniting to protect what we love. Every cleanup, every piece of properly disposed waste, every conversation, it all creates a ripple effect. But we can't just continue to clean up after everybody's mess. Let's prevent it and be proactive, not reactive. Because remember, our Belize, our responsibility. Bin it.
This Christmas, get into the joy with Uno. Imagine winning a shiny motorcycle, a brand new TV, a brand new fan, or grocery coupons to make your holiday shopping easier. The surprises keep coming. All you have to do is visit Uno, and for every $25 on fuel, you'll get a coupon. Fill out and participate. Get one coupon for each quart of Uno lubricants or 2 for a gallon. Visit your nearest Uno gas station today. Fill your tank and drive into Christmas cheer with Uno. Uno gas stations.
We continue to celebrate diversity and embrace our vibrant cultural heritage. Happy Garifuna Settlement Day from BEL. Gundala Hafedo Garina Guhamaye Belize Electricity Limited.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Today's sitting of the House of Representatives just concluded about an hour ago after a slew of bills were read and debated. The first was the Caribbean Development Bank 8 road project loan motion, which would see the rehabilitation of the George Price Highway from Belize City to Hattieville. The loan motion is for over $34 million and it's only 16 miles. So, of course, as with any large loan, the opposition expressed grave concerns. This time, it was particularly about the length of the repayment and the fact that they say there is a lack of transparency.
This is not a motion just about 15 miles of roads from Belize City to Hattieville. This, Madam Speaker, is $69 million in new debt. This, Madam Speaker, represents 22 years of repayment. And let me put that in perspective, Madam Speaker. Most students who attend primary, secondary, and even tertiary education, it doesn't take them 22 years to get through school. So imagine, Madam Speaker, that a young student who starts today, in 22 years, they will still be saddled with this debt payment. If my math is correct, this $69 million represents $4.6 million a mile. And the government comes to us in this honorable house simply expecting a nod, a clap, approval, no questions are to be asked, no information is provided, as though we are negotiating chum change, as many of us would say. This, Madam Speaker, if my information is right, and I believe it is, represents the most expensive stretches of highway the country has ever seen.
The Burton Bridge, to my knowing and using it over the years, is not bad. I'm no engineer, but it's left to be stand corrected, but it's usable. And you know where you see now coffee, right? If you're not blocked, why you fix it for? Why you change it? And it still got some more years left in it. So why we was to spend for sake? The road from Belize City to Hatterville is fairly decent and drivable for at least a couple more years. I do admit the shoulder needs a little patch up, but definitely it shouldn't cost $69 million. And there are no even hot mix they are used, Madam Speaker. There are no hot mix. And there's no mention about hot mix or the details.
But the Minister for Infrastructure Development fired back, calling out two of only three opposition members present in the House today. Here's that fiery exchange.
I don't ask the gentleman how much MSG he put in a fried chicken when he sell it. I don't, because I'm not a fried chicken specialist. But I am a professional that understands infrastructure work. Therefore, I can speak on it. And I am a politician that has been here before government and during government, and therefore the history speaks for itself. The UDP government under the leadership of the Honorable Dean Barrow did not bring to this House $1.5 billion of expenditure, and it was done illegally so. I'm just reminding you when you speak about not having transparency and accountability, Madam Speaker. I don't know which one, 103, came up here and said the George Price Highway is not a priority project. How can you say that's not a priority project when the Caracol was done before? When Corozal to Sarteneja was done before, under your tenure? When the George Price Highway is the most trafficked highway in this entire country, and we have the statistics to prove it. It is the main artery from Belize City, the commercial center of this country, to Belmopan, the political center of this country. If they would come to work, they would use that every day. I don't make no bushla over here to tell about no feasibility study, no environmental. These international financial institutions do not lend loans if you do not provide the necessary documentation and studies. All of those studies are there. All of those studies are there. If you want to come to my office, I have asked Corozal North representative umpteens of times, maybe 15 times in this house, come to the ministry, come and look at the book, but you're lazy, you don't want to do your work, you stay in Corozal, hiding in your cane field. Come to the office.
And outside the chambers, we spoke to the former Minister of Home Affairs about his new portfolio of immigration, labor, and governance. To many, it seems like a demotion after several public controversies in relation to citizen security. However, he doesn't see it that way, and he says His law degree is what made PM make the switch.
I look at every single opportunity to serve the people of Belize as a promotion. First and foremost, I think we have to acknowledge at all times that we are area representatives. All 31 of us hold a very special place, privileged place in this country. I am the representative for Caribbean Shores. That's my primary role. Second to that, of course, is our ministerial appointments. If it is that the Prime Minister finds it that you are to be a minister. And so I look forward to this new role, the Ministry of Immigration, Labor and Governance, as a new challenge for me. I look forward to it with great optimism. I know that it's a lot of challenges over at the Immigration Ministry. Labor, of course, has its issues as well. And of course, the redistricting process that comes with governance. And so all of them, the Prime Minister said he would need my assistance, primarily because of my legal background, for us to navigate the way forward in these three very critical ministries. So I look at it as a promotion.
So why didn't he assign you this portfolio when he made his cabinet back in March?
That's a matter, again, when you're looking to reconfigure your cabinet as the Prime Minister did in March. I think he found that I was doing an excellent job in Home Affairs, and so he had decided then to leave me there.
So is it that you're not doing an excellent job anymore?
Well, the Prime Minister's words were, I'm doing a good job. So, and I think according to your news director, I got a B+. So I think overall, I left the Ministry of Home Affairs in very able, qualified hands in Minister Mira, but I left it having done a pretty good job.
Do you think Mr. Williams would make a good CEO for Home Affairs?
Yes, I believe, based on the names that I've heard, being former Commissioner Williams, Deputy Commissioner Bart Jones, I think both of them would do an excellent job.
What's the fate of your former CEO?
I'm not sure of that.
But is Minister Musa about to lose some of his political clout? And will this signal the downward spiral in his career? Well, here's what he said.
How will your political career survive without that level of political clout and influence that you are able to essentially tap into and throw around in the Ministry of Home Affairs, now in the Ministry of Immigration?
I've never heard that question posed before, and I've never thought of it like that, because if you listen to anyone else aside from Paul Lopez, they will tell you that the Ministry of Home Affairs is a death trap for your political career. It's actually suicide. So a lot of people are messaging me and saying, you're now going to be able to really thrive as a minister, not having all of that on you anymore, all that pressure on you. And really and truly, I was a minister that took every single gunshot, every single murder on my own shoulders. A lot of people told me that explains all the gray hair I've gotten over the years. So I don't know how else to take your question, because a lot of people are saying that now I have even greater opportunity over at the Ministry of Immigration. It's three very powerful portfolios, Paul. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of them have legal issues, especially over at labor, with some trade disputes that are actually live right now. Haven't had a chance to sit down with the labor commissioner as yet, but we move directly into trade disputes. And so there's a lot that needs to be done. I look at it as a huge, huge vote of confidence by the Prime Minister. If you look at the previous ministers of immigration, being Senator Eamon Courtney, followed by Minister Francis Fonseca and the Prime Minister, I think I am sitting in a very good cadre of individuals with great integrity, and it's not anybody I can say that can fill that position. And so I look at it as a vote of confidence by the Prime Minister.
Do you aspire to one day lead the party, and do you see this as a setback?
I never entered politics to lead per se. That's never been one of my wishes. I've always said that leadership depends on whether the people want you. 80% of it depends on whether the people want you to lead. The next 20% is your own personal aspiration. But at the end of the day, that's a long way down the road. Right now, we have a lot of hard work to get done within these three ministries.
And while Musa doesn't think his political career is in jeopardy, was the Budna kidnapping the nail in the coffin for his time at Home Affairs? We asked him.
Believe that you are being indirectly blamed for the kidnapping of Mr. Budna?
Absolutely not. I think everyone knows, the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, and Belize knows I have absolutely nothing to do with that. So I don't see how I could ever be blamed for that.
How would you answer the question of who thief Budna?
I have no idea. So that will be left up to the DPP. As you know, she now has the file, and we'll see where that goes from there.
But she said that the file had less than nothing in it. What's your reaction to this?
That's a matter of perspective, I think, because based on what I had heard at Cabinet, obviously there's video footage that you can make use of. There are statements from several officers that she can now go back to question and re-interview these officers. So I wouldn't say there's less than nothing based on what I have heard, but again, that's a matter of perspective.
And while that case is now out of Musa's hands, we asked his successor, Oscar Mira, for his plans on how that will be handled. However, it doesn't seem to be a matter of urgency for him. He told us that it's all on the DPP now.
I believe that that file has been sent to the DPP, and it is her job now to do whatever it is that she needs to do and to give whatever advice it is that she needs to go. And I leave it as that. That file has been sent to the DPP. It's her job now to do to give us the advice that we need to give.
Aren't you concerned that it seemed like there wasn't much in the file as it relates to the police investigation?
I haven't seen the file, and as I said, I have just taken over this week, and that file is at the DPP. I will not put my 1 cent or 2 cents into that investigation. The investigation has been done. It has been sent to the DPP, and it's her job now to give us the recommendation.
As a new minister, do you believe that the tapes should be released?
As I said, I will not go into any of the investigation that happened. That is not for me to do. That is already been done. Investigations has happened, and whatever recommendations comes out from it that the DPP has, we are going to follow.
But as the new Minister of Home Affairs, the actions of now your police officers falls squarely on your shoulders, whether it is the alleged involvement in the kidnapping or it is their part played in the investigation. We know that this has significantly deteriorated public trust, something that you are passionate about rebuilding. How do you do that when you are essentially taking a hands-off approach to this very serious issue?
No, I think that you're getting it wrong. The trust that we must work for, we will get that trust from the Belizean people because we're going to work to get that trust back. However, I cannot interfere on an investigation that has already been concluded. That is not for me to do. It has been done. The investigation is finished. The file has been sent to the DPP, and now we await her recommendation and decision. I will not interfere.
And we also spoke to both those transitional ministers about their former cabinet colleague, Jose Mai. He didn't show up for today's House meeting, so we couldn't ask him about what the Prime Minister insists is a bad back requiring surgery. But what did Minister Musa have to say? Has he seen his colleague ailing? He said he hasn't been able to reach him.
I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
You're a member of cabinet.
I have, and I've personally tried to reach out to Minister Mai, but I haven't gotten a response as yet from him.
But would you have seen some signs of pain and discomfort from him
It's been quite some time that he has been complaining of pain, yes.
Yes, and as the Prime Minister said, you all would make jokes about it from time to time.
Correct.
So you believe that in fact he had to take time off because
that is what the Prime Minister and I believe Minister Mai have said. I haven't spoken to Minister Mai as yet.
Okay.
Reasonable reason to resign. I mean, Mr. Barrow had a bad back for many years.
I'm not going to speculate. I don't know the condition of Minister Mai, and that is something that you'll have to ask him.
Do you send him your well wishes?
Yes, yes, certainly. I will.
We also asked Minister Mira for his take on the whole Jose Mai Badbak narrative. He would only say the man has to speak for himself.
Do you believe that, in fact, Minister Mai has a bad back and that is the reason why he is moving away from his duties at the Ministry of Agriculture?
Well,
You're a cabinet member, sir. You would have been in cabinet with him.
I am in cabinet. He is a friend of mine. Yes, he had an accident, but I leave it as that. You know, all of us decide and know how we feel. You know, there's sometimes that we need to take a break. I can't speak for him. He needs to speak for himself.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have more from the House, plus we'll tell you about a landmark constitutional ruling coming out of the CCJ. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
It's an massive season with massive deals and rewards at Penny's. From now through December 31st, earn double B-Bucks on store-wide purchasing every Saturday. That's right, 2 times the B-Bucks, which means 2 times the cash back when shopping at Penny's. Plus, get even more rewards with B-Bucks Builders on home goods, tiles, appliances, paints, and lights. And don't forget, there's also massive deals and discounts on tiles and the best brands in paints like Benjamin Moore and BH. Rewards, deals, B-Bucks. You can get it all this massive season only at Penny's. Quality and savings.
Want all the postpaid perks without the commitment? Now you can with Smart Supercharged prepaid plans. All the talk, text, and data you need. No contracts, no hassle. Pay upfront for your package and enjoy total freedom. No commitments. Just simple, flexible plans that fit your life. Pick your power, Core, Edge, or Prime. Prepaid plans, ready when you ready. Commit to no commitments and get yours today. Dial 7526 or star 100 pound key, use the Smart app, or visit a Gimme Dollar agent to purchase today. Smart, bringing people together.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
The journey towards owning a home was a family decision as we needed stability and security. And it was a financial investment that we would have for our family's legacy. Getting a home loan from Atlantic Bank was very easy. The officers there were able to walk you through the process and you were able to ask questions. Moving into our home for the first time was a blessed and happy experience. I remember turning the key for the first time, and the family was so excited to see our new home where we'd be making new memories in.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
We continue to celebrate diversity and embrace our vibrant cultural heritage. Happy Garifuna Settlement Day from BEL. Gundala Hafedo Garinago Hamaye Belize Electricity Limited.
The next time you are passing creative marketing at 146 corner of East Collette Canal and Alenby, don't be shy. Come on in.
Welcome to Creative Marketing, where everything is possible.
We offer services like graphic designs for logos or banners or any other special request. Get designs printed on t-shirts for sporting events, special events like birthdays, or for your business. Get your polos or dress shirts officially embroidered with logos or business names. For special requests, our sewing department can get you fixed up with custom preferences. Our in-house name brands like Eliani's collection produces uniform dress shirts and blouses. For work or school, our Z-Tech Sportswear produces fisherman shirts and dry fit polos for males or females. Ask about other items. In other departments, we produce customized banners and fin feathers. At Creative Marketing, there's so much more. So next time you're in need, come take a look. Call us at 207-2023, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Creative Marketing, where everything is possible.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, Champion Security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of Champion Security. Boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Yes. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Handsome. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where safety is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You want to rent it? It's not a problem. We got remote gate.
One of the reasons I applied for a credit card at Atlantic Bank was because I travel a lot. I'm always going here and there and everywhere, and having that card made my life so much easier. I could literally charge everything. I had no issues. I don't have to worry about carrying money, and that has been one of the most effective points. Using my Atlantic Bank credit card has improved my life drastically. I learned to budget properly, the online service that it gives, the features that it has, and also knowing that when I'm shopping online, it has a protective feature for it. Having an Atlantic Bank credit card, especially having two sons that are always wanting something. They want to shop here and they want to shop there. The good part about it is I get to look at Atlantic online to see where my spending is and to make sure I'm staying in budget.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning.
the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
In our first segment, you heard from newly reshuffled ministers Karim Musa and Jose Abelardo. On Jose Abelardo Mai, Musa kept his chin up and embraced his new ministry, and so did Mira. The former soldier slides over from defense and border security to home affairs and said that when he got the call from the PM, he saw the bigger picture.
I work at the pleasure of the Prime Minister. As a member of cabinet, I was invited by the Prime Minister. When Prime Minister called me for a meeting for me to consider the Ministry of Home Affairs, I saw the bigger picture. I think that as a team player and as a member of the People's United Party government, and being a member of cabinet, it is my duty to ensure that I do the job that has been tasked to me. I will not run away from any responsibility. I think that the Prime Minister's job is a very serious one and a very hard one, and he was trying to find a balance in his cabinet, and asking me to be Minister of Home Affairs was one of those things that he had that he did, and I had discussions with him for more than one time, and I do appreciate his confidence in me in asking me to be part of his cabinet and being the Minister of Home Affairs, which I accepted.
Who are you looking at to be your CEO? There are reports, first reports of Mr. Bart Jones, and now there are reports that maybe even Mr. Chester Williams will step up.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to say who, but we are having discussions with the Office of the Prime Minister on having a suitable candidate for a CEO. It's a very important job. I think that we all know by now that changes have to happen at the ministry, and we are looking at different candidates and making sure that we get a good fit, someone who is going to work well in the ministry, and also someone who has the know-how and experience of security. It is not an easy job, and we understand that, and we want to take time to ensure that the recommendations that I have given to the Prime Minister, and which are only recommendation, he does the appointment, that we are looking at them very carefully. I do have other discussions with him to ensure that we get a good fit at the Ministry of Home Affairs as CEO.
Why is it that you are keeping Ms. Charul?
No, that has nothing to do with me. As I said, there has to be changes. I think that everyone has come to the conclusion that she is not one of the candidates. That is not so. As I said, there are many recommendations, more than one recommendations, and it is to find a person who will work as my CEO, who can work and have the experience that's needed to make sure that the ministry runs smoothly.
The work ahead, by when do you expect that candidate to be finalized and installed?
We are looking at probably in the next week or two.
Reports suggest that the PM who travels tomorrow plans to name a CEO after he returns. And so while the Ministry of Home Affairs is desperately seeking a CEO, Mira is fine with the current Commissioner of Police, Dr. Richard Rosado. He gave us his first impressions today.
We are working very well. I've had one meeting with him already, and he has briefed me on the strategy that they have to fight crime in the country. And we're looking at I'm looking forward and working together with the Commissioner of Police on. There are many programs and there are many things that we need to change. I know it is a dynamic ministry, and things change a lot. We're looking to making sure that we deliver for the Belizean people and bringing down crime and bringing down the murder statistics of this country. We will ensure that we look at the strategy that is being employed and making sure that it is the right one for our country.
And Mira takes over the Ministry of Enterprise, which covers the free zones, both in the north and west. As we have been reporting, the one in the north is running very hot right now. So we asked Mira how he will handle the zones and the cartels which control the tobacco trade.
I am scheduled to meet with the CEO of Free Zones very, very shortly, along with the chairman of the board, and we're going to ensure that we look at everything. Yes, we're there to ensure that the business people in the free zone can do their business and they can do it without fear, and that's what we're working on. I still have not gotten that briefing from them as yet, but as soon as I do, we'll know where we're going from there. But our aim is to ensure that those businesses in the free zone can do business without fear and that business happens.
Do you believe that the police department will be able to outman and even outgun the alleged influence of cartels within the free zone?
I really need to find out where these allegations are. We are going to put all our resources together to ensure that the area is safe for business, and that's our aim.
And while Mira will have to wrestle with the zones, Musa has plenty to tackle at immigration. He spoke to us about his plans for the Ministry of Immigration.
I intend to work very closely with our international partners to ensure the integrity of our systems, while at the same time streamlining processes for our Belizean people and those who are qualified to get their residency or passports to make it a lot more user-friendly, easier to access than currently is. And so there's a lot of hard work ahead. Like I said, the previous ministers of immigration have done a lot of the heavy lifting. We will look now to modernize and digitize a lot of these processes, not just at the Ministry of Immigration, but also at the Ministry of Labor. And so that is what we have to look forward to, better service to the Belizean people, while at the same time keeping any sort of corruption at bay.
We'll have a little more from the House meeting later on in the news. In crime news, a former senator and prominent Toledo High School principal is wanted by PG police for questioning about an alleged sexual offense. Today, Punta Gorda police asked other formations to kindly be on the lookout for Macario Coy, who is wanted by Punta Gorda police personnel for investigation of a sexual assault. The other formations are asked to detain him if they find him. We reached out to Coy for comment, but up to news time he had not responded. Coy is a former UDP senator, more recently an ardent supporter of the PUP. In other disturbing news, police are investigating an alleged sexual assault of a 12-year-old female minor in southern Belize. A release says the ongoing investigation commenced in November 2025. The female, who was accompanied by a social worker and a family member, reported that during the months of October and November of 2025, two of her brothers allegedly had sexual relations with her on several occasions, while her stepfather allegedly sexually assaulted her. And the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, a tip of the Belize Police Department, has formally arrested and charged 4 persons with facilitating the child prostitution of a female minor. Those 4 persons, Oscar Diaz, Maria Arias, Ramona Cucul, and Gloria Rodriguez, who is in Guatemala, were arraigned at the Independence Magistrates Court and released on bail of $6,000 plus 1 surety. The case was adjourned for February 11, 2026. The department strongly encourages the public to report suspects or persons engaging in human trafficking to the ATIP unit at 822-2083. On Tuesday, we took you to the KHMH for their World Preemie Day event. And as part of their awareness campaign, they held a pre-maturity conference today in partnership with international stakeholders like the World Pediatrics Foundation and UNFPA. Jo Marie Lanza stopped by the conference, and here's her story.
As the level of healthcare offered to pregnant women in Belize improved, so has the data of premature babies being born. It's not what it was like a few decades ago, but still the ministry hopes to prevent premature deliveries altogether. Through conferences like this one, they hope to increase awareness in the population on how we can prevent premature births. Technical advisor for the Maternal and Child Health Unit, Dr. Natalia Larga-Esparra-Bear, explained how a number of factors can result in babies being born before their time.
The proportion of babies born too soon, meaning before completing 37 weeks gestational age, has been steady throughout the last 5 years. We are below 10%. The numbers look good compared to other countries, but we don't want to have no babies burning too soon. So we have to do more to help women identify risk factors, manage it in a timely manner, and to help them as much as we can to prevent premature births. Prematurity is a social product. It's a pregnant woman that lives in a community. It's a pregnant woman that is in contact with the social determinants of health and the effects that this can have on her health and the health of her child. So it's a lot. It goes beyond the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It requires participation from all, from the home, community, and the different institutions and organizations providing services in support of pregnancy.
And while the ministry is committed to doing its part, one nurse who has been in the profession for more than 25 years reflected on a time where there was little to no care for preemie babies in Belize.
We've seen a lot of great stories. Just last week, I met one of my patients from 24 years ago who showed up at the hospital, very productive, very successful. And even then, there was no neonatologist. It's the pediatrician. We had no pediatric surgeon. It was our general surgeon doing the surgeries for these babies. The nursing staff, it doesn't matter how many patients we had. There were only 2 of us working. Morning, we probably had 3 or 4. In the evening, maybe the same, but at nighttime, it's only 2 nurses working, no support staff. If a baby crashes, it's us. We have to do feeding, vital signs, bathing them, responding to the emergency. There were no doctors there. We had to call them out. So they're at home, they're on call because limitations was there. Compared to now, there are somebody 24 hours in the hospital, a doctor.
And even though there are sufficient doctors and nurses on site, sometimes that still isn't enough to ensure a full-term pregnancy. According to Dr. Bear, there are a number of other external factors that can impact a pregnancy.
We are offering prenatal care, and we were reflecting earlier that we need to improve the quality of the prenatal care. Tomorrow they will be issuing the results of the mix, and we usually are above 94% of women having access to prenatal care. So for us, it means that we need to carefully look at how we are providing the prenatal care and make sure that no woman that receives prenatal care end up with premature delivery. But it's not easy.
Why is it not easy?
Well, it's so many factors, social, environmental, and health conditions. When you are planning to become pregnant, you should ensure, if you are diabetic, to have your diabetes under control. If you have hypertension, to have your blood pressure under control. and any other conditions, have it under control. But sometimes we just get pregnant and then the complications arising from uncontrolled diseases, plus the environment.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And we take a break now. When we come back, we'll tell you about the landmark constitutional judgment coming out of the CCJ today. And we'll take you to Dangriga for Garifuna Settlement Day. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
You can cover him in flowers.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
A judgment issued this afternoon by the Caribbean Court of Justice established a major constitutional principle, and it's in the government's favor. The case goes back to 2017 when the government reorganized the importation of liquid petroleum gas, or butane, and established the National Gas Company as the sole importer, thus boxing out the long-established importers from Mexico and Central America. They challenged that and started a long legal battle through the High Court and the Court of Appeal, where they did have victories and claimed damages in excess of $65 million. Government appealed to the CCJ, which today decided that those companies' constitutional rights were not violated. It's a major victory for government and saves them from paying millions in damages or amending the legislation. Their attorney, Eamon Courtney, told us more via Zoom.
The government appealed to the CCJ, and the CCJ has today decided that there was no taking away of goodwill, no taking away of their right to work, their freedom of association, and that in fact they are not entitled to any damages because they did not plead or prove it properly. And therefore the government's position has been vindicated. That is to say, the way in which the LPG market is currently organized and the legislation that governs it is constitutionally compliant. First of all, it is very important from the point of view that the financial exposure that the government faced was significant, was in the tens of millions. And now that has been put to an end. I think this decision provides the clarity in telling government how far it can go in terms of regulating an industry, regulating a type of business without having to compensate those who are negatively affected.
No, I have always, perhaps emotively, called them the Central American Cartel. We know they are registered companies in Belize, but their ownership is Central American based. But is this in some sense a victory for nationalism?
I think, first of all, the companies are owned on paper by Central American companies, but it's controlled by the Zaragoza brothers, who operate primarily out of Mexico and into Central America. So indeed, it was a group of companies, and it was referred to as a cartel. And the reason for that is because they buy liquid petroleum gas at a rate for Mexico and for Central America. And they play the market. When they buy high, they sell at a high price. When they buy low, they don't pass that on to their subsidiaries or to the retailers, which was one of the objectives of government, of breaking that way of oligopolistic way of organizing the market. And so government was able to intervene in that regard. But it also said that as a government, the policy decision to reorganize the market for the benefit of the Belizean consumer, for stability of price, for better measurement and analysis of the quality of LPG. You did many stories about the quality of LPG that people were getting. Now that it is coming through one plant, government can just go to that plant and do the testing there rather than having to go to every LPG company to find out what was the LPG butane mix. So, yes, it is putting Belizean consumers first. It is putting the Belizean regulatory power of the state first. And in that regard, I think it was a triumph for nationalism.
There was no order as to costs, recognizing the public importance of the issues raised and the reasonableness of the gas companies in pursuing the litigation. Last week, we told you that the mayor of Belmopan announced he would be enforcing legislation that makes it illegal to have farm animals within city limits. We asked the Belmopan area rep what he thought of this and whether that meant that the Governor General's chicken coop would have to go.
I don't think that is a new regulation. That's an old regulation. What I know, and now I'm speaking as the area representative for Belmopan, is that in many instances we see horses being tied up in parks and being left there for days. That cannot happen. We see many animals just walking the streets, and being knocked down by vehicles, causing accidents. I think as a pet owner or as just an animal owner, you need to take responsibility and you need to make sure that they are adequately taken care of and adequately housed. You can't have them roaming the streets of the city. So I am going to discuss this with the mayor because we're looking at the legislation. That's a new one. It's an older legislation that's here in Baobab. But we are looking at it very closely and ensuring that it's not only about animals that are roaming, but that you take responsibility for those animals that you keep.
What about the GG's chickens?
Oh, I don't know about the GG chickens. I have never been there visited. I've never visited GG chickens. I don't know.
Early in the news, we showed you some of today's House meeting. The House also debated two general revenue supplementary appropriation bills. But again, these bills were met with opposition from the UDP. They criticized the government for both under-budgeting as well as spending money and then retroactively rushing the bills through the House. Here's what they say.
There has been severe under-budgeting by this administration. When the budget is presented, and it was presented 6 months after the election, so there was ample time to get it right. In fact, at that time, the Prime Minister said the reason there was such a delay in the presentation of the budget is because ministries had been realigned, realigned, and he needed to get it right before coming to the Belizean people. Madam Speaker, taxpayers, working families, and communities continue to shoulder the burden of an administration that governs with no regard for transparency, no regard for accountability, and no regard for the economic hardships of our people.
The fiscal year 2024-2025 ended in March 31st, 2025. A supplementary appropriation should have been brought during the year when the spending occurs or immediately after the foreseen expenditures arise. But today we are being asked to retroactively approve spending from the fiscal period that is already history. This is after the fact budgeting by backdating, Mr. Speaker. This administration spent millions of dollars without parliamentary approval. It is especially concerning that this supplementary is being rushed before the Auditor General's finalizes the audit 2024-2025 fiscal year. The government wants to regularize the overspending so that when the audit comes, the book looks clean. It is an attempt to sanitize unauthorized expenditures.
The members on the government side rose to explain just what they needed that money for, and to end the debate, the PM stood up and announced that he might actually miss the former leader of the opposition.
I think we cannot miss Shine Barrow, because at least Shine Barrow prepare himself, no? I come with something, but you still not miss her? Still want to keep over there. All right, maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, maybe we should keep this leader of the position where she is, because she makes no preparation. You could see just to try blush her way through this presentation and not making homework. And obviously, and this is the person that claims that you want to be Prime Minister, man. You need to work to be able to get your points across. As to my poor friend from Mesopotamia, I'll just say pobrecito and not add anything more. I would be very, very kind. I want to point out, though, and they come to talk about these supplementary budgets. First of all, Mr. Speaker, I think what they don't understand that in many instances, as the Financial Secretary pointed out, that there's a lot of times when you have these urgent and unforeseen expenditures that come up. And we have a responsibility to the country to be able to answer these urgent, unexpected, unforeseen expenditures that has to be done. For instance, the salary increases for the teachers and the public officers and the BDF and the police and the Coast Guard. They already tell you that they're not going to fix it. For young people in education, we're giving $5 million more to help our young people. They stand up here and say, oh, we need to help people, we need to help the young people, we need to do this, and then they come here to this house and say they would not support the very line items in this budget that goes directly to assist the people of this country.
Regardless of how you feel about your water bill, you'd better enjoy it now, because come April of 2026, it's going to go up by 13%. The PUC has made an initial decision for the 2026 full tariff review proceedings submitted by the Belize Water Services Limited, and they have approved a 13.5% increase to the mean water rate instead of the 20% rate increase requested by BWSL. They say this will result in an overall increase of approximately 5.5% on a customer's monthly bill. Today in the House of Representatives, the UDP's Lee Mark Chang says it comes at the worst time for Belizeans.
The revenue for BWS, $53.6 million, a 13.5% increase is roughly $7.2 million, with a yearly average profit around $4.5 million. So every year for the next couple of years, roughly, just an average $7 to $8 million increase in terms of revenue, plus whatever profits they were seeing that they're continuing the same trend. So definitely it'll be well into the 8 figures in terms of the profits. BWS has not increased water rates since April 2015. That's 10 years ago. But yet, in those 10 years, they still managed to remain profitable. So why all of a sudden the 13.5% rate? And yes, I heard the Prime Minister and the other side said that inflation, cost of living, salaries, and all that. And I do understand those things. But this is forcing Belizean families to finance what government should be financing. This 13.5% increase comes at the worst possible time for our people. According to the SIB, inflation across the board is up. Here's what makes this BWS rate increase really kind of unacceptable, Madam Speaker. The executive chairman of BWS stated that their operations can remain sustainable without their increase. Yet in the same breath, their business plan admits they are extremely cash-strapped. And that was on the news, Madam Speaker. So I don't know which one it is. Either you're profitable and you got money, you're not profitable and you don't got money, or which way? You need to decide which way you want to go. Are they one of the most financially stable water utilities in the Caribbean? And I recall hearing that same phrase too, that the chairman said, the executive, I think it was the executive director said. Or are they cash-strapped? Belizeans deserve transparency, not contradictions.
And in lighter news, they established their association in Little Under 5 years ago with a mission to strengthen the relationship between the Garifuna community and law enforcement through charity work. The Garifuna American Law Enforcement Group is in Belize, and they handed out some awards today. Jory Lanza was at the event, and here's what happened.
The Garifuna American Law Enforcement Association is a nonprofit organization founded and run by Garifuna police officers from the New York Police Department. They conduct charity work in countries of their descent, and that has brought them to Belize, giving back and recognizing select persons from the schools they have helped.
We pretty much represent countries that have Garifuna heritage. So we focus on Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, the United States, and obviously St. Vincent. Our goal is primarily to do humanitarian services, try to go back to places we came from, and give out whatever aid we can. For this trip in particular, we gave out sneakers and book bags to students. But we're going to try to expand our program, try to help out in different facets. For the, like for instance, we know there's like children homes and stuff here, something that we are considering, trying to aid in. But primarily we're just here to try to help out the kids that are growing up in the communities that we grew up in.
Today they handed out a total of 9 awards, 3 students, 3 teachers, and 3 principals. Their president says they based their selection on how much these persons have performed and given back to their communities as well.
The students were selected based on their highest achievements, like a student that have done so much for the school, and as well as the teachers too as well. We also want to, share these moments with the youth in the community, because every time you hear about police officers, you think something about, you don't think the positive, you only think about being arrested. But there's also the good side, as far as building that bond with the community.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And going back now to yesterday's Garifuna Settlement Day celebrations in Dangriga, it was full of dancing, drumming, and ceremony. Here are the highlights from the speeches at the event.
We're here to celebrate Garifuna Settlement Day, a day of profound significance that honors and uplifts the vibrant culture, rich history, and resilient spirit of the Garifuna Belizeans everywhere. As we come together, let us take a moment to reflect on the invaluable contributions of the Gariganu to the broader Belizean identity. The Garifuna people, with their distinct customs, language, and traditions, are an integral part of the tapestry that makes up Belize. Your ancestors, who are indeed our ancestors, who were forcibly removed from their homeland and endured tremendous hardships, have gifted us a legacy of resilience, strength, and cultural richness that continues to thrive today. A culture characterized by its unique language, music, dance, and culinary traditions.
This year's theme, Garifuna Moving Forward, honoring tradition, embracing change, strengthening identity, is more than a celebration slogan. It is a true reflection of the Garifuna spirit, a spirit defined by resilience, courage, innovation, and unwavering commitment to our cultural preservation. Over 220 years ago in 1802, the Garifuna people arrived on the shores of Belize after an arduous and painful journey. But they did not arrive defeated. Far from it. They arrived determined. They arrived faith-filled. And they arrived carrying not only their families and their belongings, but a heritage of unbreakable hope. With coconuts and cassava stems, drums, and their sacred identity, they built homes and nurtured families and planted seeds of a cultural legacy that has enriched Belize for generations.
And while the spirit was celebratory throughout the South, there was at least one unfortunate incident. This Chevy Equinox, driven by well-known sports coach Stanley Jordan Reno, reversed into a crowd at what looks like an area around Alejo Beni Park in Dangriga town. The crowd scattered and a few were hit, but there are no reports of serious injury. And in another scary accident in Belmopan today, a man was flung off his motorcycle on the ring road. A vehicle making a left turn did not clear traffic and drove into the cycles lane, causing the cyclist to catapult into the air. We do not know the extent of injuries at this time. And that's all we have for you on our newscast for tonight. We leave you with some scenes of yesterday's Settlement Day festivities in Dangriga town. Thanks for joining us. With your news, I'm Indira Craig. Join Miriam Abdul-Kawi here tomorrow, and I'll be seeing you back on Monday. Have a good one.
Kundatiwa achuluru itu hayuno ama umaduguno seremelu abongiote luade ironi we yulela umagadie luhadiwa agura bahe we yule manofu de uma luasania don't be gararule don't be gumesela fedule gumesela mama waya biya gumugoda gumesela fedule gumesela pedule gumesela mama waya biya